This is exactly right. Are we recording? Sweet. Let's start this, Mother.
Hi.
Hi.
We're in a hotel room that looks like it could be in The Shining.
Yeah, this is like the smallest conference room. This is like a child's conference room. Oh,
Yes.
Also, this is my favorite murder.
Oh, hi. The Minisode.
We're doing a Minisode on the road.
Yeah.
Well, but we're downtown Los Angeles.
I mean.
We're at Podfest, LA Podfest.
Yeah.
It'll be over by the time you hear this. It was great. Everybody killed it.
Thanks for coming.
So many people. Met so many lovely people.
We really did. This is the Minisode where we read you back your hometown murders that you email us at murder@gmail.
And this week we're doing it in a room that is the true color of mustard in the worst way possible. This was last painted in 1974, I will guess.
Yes.
So we've got a deep French's situation happening.
And I'm pretty sure the carpet is going to give me a seizure from its busyness.
Yep.
Are we in Twin Peaks or The Shining?
This is a hybrid
Crossover.
kind of like today's marijuana, where they have taken the worst of two things and combined them to give you a heart attack.
Listen, do you want, look and listen. Don't
To the things that you can't see or hear.
Let us describe it in vivid detail for you.
Have you ever had a bird shit on your car and there is, yes, it's black, yes, it's white, but there's a very, very tiny strand, like light strand of yellow? That's the color of these walls.
It's the kind of thing where when you cut into an egg at a shitty diner, you're like, that's not the right color of egg yolk.
Yeah. But somebody that designs rooms at this hotel was like, that's exactly the right color.
That's the one. It goes great with the burgundy and tan carpet.
With kind of like leafy medallions, like somebody's getting a carpeting award, but it's on the ground and it's permanently. You never actually get it. You just have to look down.
I mean, let's be at least Steven's here, and we can just
Steven
gaze upon him.
Steven secured this room for us.
Yep.
And so of course we're eternally grateful and in no way have a lack of gratitude.
It's not totally his fault.
What if the designer here at the Biltmore Hotel is a listener and she is weeping openly right now because she's like, that color mustard was the Pantone color of the year in 2007.
She's a ghost. She was a ghost when she designed this room.
Yep.
So, which means she sees in black and white. So she doesn't even know what color this is.
She's like a dog.
She picked these beautiful, she said, let's not go with natural lighting. Let's go with fluorescent.
Got to go fluorescent if you're in a conference room.
Listen, fluorescent fucking recessed lighting.
This is like the smallest bat mitzvah ever thrown for any Jewess.
Definitely.
This is if you were an orphan Jewess. Mm-hmm. You turned 14 and your distant aunt is like, no, we're going to the Biltmore, but we only need one table. But we want our own room.
One tiny table. Oh, that's the other thing is there's one tiny table.
Yeah, it barely holds the three of us and it's in a banquet room.
There's 4 chairs. One is empty and it's for the ghost who designed this room.
For the ghost decorator. They were like interviewing people and they're like, well, that first guy wearing the neckerchief seemed like he knew his stuff, but I like the lady you could see through. I'm going to give it to her. She needs a job. Yeah. She looks hungry. All right, should we do this?
Let's do it.
Did you hear me belch directly into the microphone just now?
No, because you did it very subtly.
Thank you. It was
a ghost burp.
We just went to Tender Greens. Tender Greens for when you want to belch. It's just a short ad. Okay, ready? This first one says the subject line is Buckeyes and nursing ghost stories. Steven, if this nursing ghost story is about a dead baby nursing its dead mother, I'm going to get really mad at you.
No, he's shaking his head no.
Okay. Hello, lovely ladies and nicely stashed Steven. Parentheses and adorable animals. He's picking these now so that he gets complimented.
Absolutely. Look at all of these.
You can tell.
Steven.
Okay. It was such a pleasure to see all three of you in Detroit, and I'm still on cloud 9 from the meet and greet.
Why are you making fun of her?
Oh, sorry, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
What are you, from the 60s? Anyway, she loves it. She loves it when I give her shit. Okay. I'm a critical care nurse in a medical intensive care unit. Basically, critical care is where people are on life support and on continuous life-saving medications.
Yay.
In my hospital, which is approximately 1,400 beds, we account for 30% of all hospital deaths and average a death a day.
Oh, they should get better at their jobs.
Well, no, I don't think they can.
That's not the point.
At a certain point, there's no getting around it. Between death and dying and being a murderino, I have some odd dinner topics.
Ooh, love her.
Considering how many deaths we've had, needless to say, there's been some odd things that have happened. We had a patient whose last name was Izod, name changed for medical privacy reasons. Oh, so that's a fake name.
Okay.
I hope. And was with us for 3 weeks. The patient died in a not very pleasant way, and the next patient in that room was talking to himself. One of my fellow nurses went into the room and asked the new patient who he was talking to. He pointed to one of the corners and said, "Oh, just my friend Izod." There was also one room which 3 different patients all said, "There are 7 people in this room."
Oh my God.
The patients were all admitted months apart from each other, but the fact that they all said the same thing is just beyond crazy. A handful of us feel like different rooms feel worse than others. Either the weight of the room feels heavy or there's a weird smell. Then tonight.
Well, no shit.
You're right. Then tonight, one of our alarms showed a dying heartbeat. A bunch of us ran into the room and realized the room was empty.
No.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, this room just creeped me out even more.
It's getting mustardier in here. It was a great waveform, the heartbeat tracing on the monitor. So beep, beep. I just wanted to do that. You knew what I was talking about and I explained it anyway.
Immediately. No. You gotta.
But no one was attached to it.
What?
That happened 3 different times. My husband and I are huge comedy nerds. Every time you bring up Joe DeRosa, I always chuckle. We talked to him for a little bit last year during the Edinburgh Fringe Festival because he recognized my husband. I appreciate all 3 of you so much. Stay sexy. Do your advanced directives and watch out for spirits in the critical care unit. Crystal in Cleveland.
Crystal, Cleveland.
Oh my God, that was
scary.
Beautiful. I love it.
This room is haunted.
Right.
It's haunted with that one blue sequence on the ground.
Oh my God.
That fell off the bat mitzvah's dress.
That's the clown that the bat mitzvah great aunt hired. Who murdered all of them. Okay.
Okay. Here's
that
one.
was more ghosty, really.
That was good.
That was a ghosty.
A good ghosty, Stephen. All right. This is just, okay, here we go. Hello. I just started listening to the My Favorite Murder podcast and I love it. In the first few episodes, you ask listeners to send murder stories. Oh, guess what, Olivia? We keep doing it.
Yeah. It happens the whole time.
From their hometowns. I'm not sure if you're still doing that. Oh, this bitch hasn't listened at all.
Girl, you listened to one and got out.
I thought I would send a few over.
Oh.
Let's just go right to this one. Near the town where my dad grew up, about 15 minutes away from where I live now, there was a serial killer who murdered 2 women in the 80s. His name is James Kodach. He had been previously arrested for the murder of his roommate when he lived in Florida. After 11 years, he got out of jail and moved to Morristown, New Jersey. And 2 months after moving, he murdered Amy Hoffman. She had been kidnapped from a shopping mall and stabbed. Her body was found in a water tower. Ooh. 12 days later, Deirdre O'Brien, who had gone to school with my dad and aunts, was kidnapped from her car and stabbed. I believe Kodach put sirens on his car and pretended to be a police officer pulling her over.
I hate that one.
Not fair.
Not fair.
Kodach, I don't know if I'm even saying that close to right, but I sound confident about it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. He was arrested after he cut himself and went to the police claiming that the man who was murdering women in town had tried to kill him. What the fucking fuck?
How about just stay away from the police station, dipshit?
I mean, I don't want to give him advice on how to not get caught.
No, that would be a bad idea.
But still.
That's how bossy and controlling I am. I even want to give people advice on how to not get caught being a serial killer.
I want to tell you why you're wrong for having been caught.
That's right.
Even though I want you to get caught.
I just see it so clearly that I feel like you would benefit from my wisdom.
Everyone needs to take our advice.
Yeah.
The police instantly knew something was off, you think? And quickly realized Kodach had murdered the 2 women. My mom also grew up in the area and remembers not being allowed to go out at night while this was happening.
Wow.
My dad worked at the gas station in the area during high school. After Kodich was arrested, he realized that he had been buying cigarettes from him at this gas station on a relatively consistent basis.
Ugh.
Not sure how to end this email with a subject matter this dark. Well, I hope you enjoy, my hometown murders. I love your podcast, Olivia.
Olivia, it's not, first of all, yes, we did. I mean, the word isn't enjoy, but what it is holy shit. We're holy shitting along with you.
Yeah. Isn't it weird how many serial killers you've never heard of?
Yes, because there's so many.
So many.
But also, I would say this. Isn't serial killer, it's 3 or more?
Yeah.
He almost made it.
He could have.
He's just a plain old lunatic.
He would have done it if he didn't slit his own wrists or whatever.
That's right. If he didn't get his weird plan of trying to make himself look like a victim.
Yeah.
You nut. Okay. The subject line of this one is Bernardo plus Homolka plus 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Hello, MFM family. Smiley face icon made with punctuation. I attended the live show in Toronto last night and was blown away by your coverage of the Bernardo Homolka story. Oh, that was mine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember.
One which is so well known in Canada, it's hard to believe there was more to learn from it, but during your show I did. Well, that's the ultimate compliment.
Yeah.
Because the reason I was redoing it is because I fucked it up so badly the first time. That means the world.
The fact that you told them stuff that they don't know after having followed this case for a decade.
Oh my God, how rewarding.
Compliment.
It almost makes me think I should do research all the time. I thought a very interesting bit was when you mentioned at the end that Carla Homolka took on the assumed name of Leanne Teal. That's interesting and extremely creepy because both Bernardo and Homolka adopted the Teal name either right after they married or just before Bernardo's trial. Bernardo adopted that from a little known movie starring Kevin Bacon. I do know this movie. Entitled Criminal Law. Did you ever see it?
No.
Also starring, it's from 1988, also starring Gary Oldman. Who knew there was 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with the Bernardo Homolka murders?
Oh my God.
I think the fact that Homolka readopted the name after she was freed is extra creepy and a nod to the fact that she definitely had no problem participating in the murders. This article also described Paul Bernardo's attempt to release self-published books via Amazon and the immediate backlash that happened when he did that. Oh, she included a live link. I think that's what she's talking about, the article. Mm-hmm. One more thing. Stacey May Fowles is a fantastic writer. That's the girl that I did the quote from who wrote that great article. I was unaware you mentioned it, that she had written that article in the Walrus, but came to know her from her other writings, her Twitter account, and her newly released book, Baseball Life Advice, which chronicles her journey through depression and anxiety and how she alleviated that via following baseball and the Toronto Blue Jays specifically. It's a great read. I thought you should know. That's awesome. As always, thank you for everything you do in your amazing show last night. SSDGM Adam.
You know, what's so interesting about the Teal thing that he's mentioning now that we know is that she was giving a message
to him.
For sure.
That's even like though doing an inside joke.
She broke up with him. She was like, I want nothing to do with him. I had nothing. He made me do these murders.
Yeah.
You know, she had to show that to the public. No, she was like,
inside joke.
Inside fucking joke.
And also that actually is such a good movie. It's along the lines of, Presumed Innocent, the Harrison Ford movie, where you really don't know, you are being led to believe that Kevin Bacon is this evil murderer.
Don't tell anyone else.
Okay.
I'm going to watch it.
It's really good. It's just one of those, like, you kind of don't know what's going on the whole time. And it's really good.
Love it.
But also, yeah, that's fucked up because they basically, that's being like, I'm going to move to Montreal and change my name to Clarice Starling.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what it is. But it's like, cause my ex will know.
Yeah.
Ew.
Grody.
They just continued to disgust all these years later.
But the worst part is she's out of prison.
That's right.
All right. This is called Fingerprint Dust Date Night, Detroit.
What did you, sorry.
Fingerprint Dust Date Night.
Oh.
Don't know what that's going to mean.
I'm loving it.
Hello, ladies, Steven. And adorable animals. We're on to you, Stephen. I'm a huge fan of your podcast, not only for bringing true crime fans out of the shadows, but for your hilarious commentary, supportive friendship, and honesty about your struggles with mental health and addiction. Nope, she wrote addition. Your mental health and addition.
Oh, all those additions you keep putting onto your apartment?
Well, we always say, okay, bad we are at math. So she's not wrong.
Mine too is like, it's the Winchester Mystery House where we just keep building additions.
And we don't know subtraction.
And we cannot add.
As someone who is trying to be open about my own troubles with mental health hearing, each episode brings me a feeling of solidarity. I have to say that I love Steven's voice too. Smiley face. Steven, stop adding shit in.
Tina Belcher, get on that mic and let the people hear your voice.
He doesn't have one. Oh.
Hi.
Sexy. The sexiest. My interest in true crime started at a fairly young age thanks to my father. My dad, while an amazing man, did not always know how to filter or word things for kids. Even now, I have to remind him that NCIS and Blue Bloods aren't really age-appropriate viewing material for my 5-year-old.
Yeah, not really.
My grandfather was a mounted police officer in Detroit. Oh, and my father always wanted to follow in his footsteps. In 1967, while in college, my dad was hired as a campus police officer for Eastern Michigan University. During the co-ed murders in Ypsilanti, the various police forces banded together to try to locate the serial killer, later found to be John Norman Collins. There's a great book called Michigan Murders about this whole case. It's really good. My dad was a very eager officer and was thrilled to join the investigation. Due to his hardworking nature, as well as my dad's physical appearance and age, the police officers felt that he could be very helpful in undercover operations. When Collins was arrested for Karen Sue Beneman's murder, the police believed that he had an accomplice, Andrew Julian Manuel, who was on the run. In an effort to trap that accomplice, my father was assigned to live in John Norman Collins' apartment undercover in hopes of catching the accomplice when he returned, as he lived in the same boarding house.
Ooh.
My mother remembers helping my father pack up Collins' belongings and cleaning up the fingerprint dust that still remained from the investigation. I have to say, the thought of my dad living undercover for several months in an effort to catch a murderer always blows me away. I didn't know that happened in the case.
That's amazing.
My dad's stories of his time as a police officer during college fascinated me, and this interest in John Norman Collins is what spread to a larger interest in true crime. My aunt, who went to the same college at the time, actually met Collins. At one point, he had given her roommate a ride on his motorcycle, which is one of the ways he got women to come with him and killed them, and offered my aunt a ride as well. My aunt specifically remembered the look in his eyes made her uncomfortable. And despite his attractiveness, because he was super fucking hot.
That's what I was just going to say. He was the hot guy, right?
Dude, so hot.
Yeah.
She declined. Politely, I believe. No fuck politeness needed. Well, later it was discovered that Collins often offered girls rides as a way to abduct them. So my aunt went with her gut, stayed sexy, and did not get murdered.
Amazing.
The picture of where John Norman Collins lived at the time of the last of the murders he committed was pictured in a recent book, Terror in Ypsilanti by Gregory Forner. The picture is attached. My dad and mom remember talking to the landlady about Collins often, and she always swore up and down, Johnny was such a nice boy.
Of course.
Right. Yes. Anyway, sorry for the long hometown murder. I can't wait to see you guys this week in Detroit. Already happened. SSDGM, Katie. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
All right. Do we do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay. Do we have a live guest?
A ghost just came in the door.
Ghost. Okay.
Support for today's show comes from HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes conquering the kitchen a reality with deliciously simple recipes and fresh, pre-measured ingredients delivered to your door. All meals come together in 30 minutes max, call for less than 2 pots and pans, and require minimal cleanup. Plus, with 3 plans to choose from, including classic, veggie, and family, there's something for everyone. So get out of that recipe rut and start cooking outside your comfort zone. This week, I'm making the hot honey chicken with barbecue roasted potatoes and buttery broccoli, and the melty Monterey Jack burgers with onion jam, garlic mayo, and crispy breaded zucchini, and I'm super excited about it. For $80 off your first month of HelloFresh, go to HelloFresh.com/murder80 and enter the code murder80. That's HelloFresh.com/murder80. Enter code murder80 for $20 off your first 4 boxes. Goodbye.
All right. The subject line of this is it's a Toronto hometown. I worked with the Angel of Death when I was 15.
Oh my God.
Hi gang. I got a wicked hometown murder about a serial killer nurse for y'all. Where are you from? When I was 15, because that's Boston and that's the South.
Totally.
But this person is actually from Toronto.
She's from all over.
That's right. She's an army brat.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was 15, I worked as a student nurse's aide at this super shady nursing home in Woodstock, Ontario.
Cool.
No, not the Woodstock. This one is the dairy capital of Canada.
Same. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. I love to learn. So there was this nurse at the home named Beth Elizabeth, and then full name Elizabeth Wettlaufer. And I worked with her from 2010 to 2013, which happened to be right smack dab in the middle of her active killing spree. In 2007, Beth started working at this nursing home. And in that first year, she tried to kill 2 old lady sisters by injecting them with insulin, but they survived. Apparently, it's pretty hard to accidentally overdose people with insulin. So it's pretty intentional if someone does administer a lethal dose. Between 2007 and 2014, she killed 8 seniors and attempted to kill 4 more, along with 2 aggravated assaults from before, making her Canada's first female serial killer.
What?
During her confession, Beth said she felt that God was telling her to kill who to kill next, or that the seniors were mean and difficult, so she just killed them.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, it's not funny. It's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
But that I have a nervous reaction that when I'm very upset about things, I just start laughing.
That's what this podcast is.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you're not mad at me?
Oh my God, no.
After she killed, she said she felt a cackling from the pit of hell, that's in quotes, within her. And then in parentheses, what the fuck does that even mean? She apparently had confessed to the murders to a former girlfriend, a pastor, a lawyer, a Narcotics Anonymous sponsor, and a student nurse, and no one did anything except to tell her to stop or pray for her or some shit.
Sorry to give advice again to fucking serial killers, but don't tell anyone.
Right. I mean, and also, if you're going to tell someone because you want to be stopped, don't pick the lamest people in your life.
Or the people who won't believe you.
Yeah, or the people who kind of don't have the guts to do anything and are just like, you should pray.
You're so silly. What's her name, Margaret? You're so silly.
Margaret. What's her name, Margaret?
That sounds like a Margaret.
Okay. So almost exactly 1 year ago today, Beth went to a mental health institution in Toronto and fessed up for the 6th fucking time, I might add, and that she'd killed 8 old people, and they contacted the police. Beth pled guilty and on June 26, 2017. Like, this was 3 fucking months ago, you guys. It's crazy. She was sentenced to 8 concurrent life sentences in prison with no possibility of parole for 25 years.
Wow.
Some other weird shit she did while she was actively killing. When asked if rumors about her being a murderer were true, Beth started, quote, laughing hysterically.
As you do.
Oh, and then it says in parentheses, cover Elvis's ears for this one. She offered to put down her neighbor's sick cat with a lethal dose of insulin.
No thanks.
She says, parentheses, I'm a student veterinarian, and this one makes me so sad. And then finally, she published some weird ass poems online about a woman, quote, quenching her craze by stabbing someone to death, and another about how much she likes old people, quote, their wrinkles, their frailty, their smell, knowing this is their last home.
Ew, Margaret.
Super fucked up, eh? I also forgot to mention that Beth went to high school with my mom. Gotta love small towns. Fuck politeness and stay out of the forest, Amy.
Oh my God.
That's super nuts.
Margaret, stop killing people.
Margaret, her name's Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Margaret. Stop killing people.
Margaret is short for Elizabeth.
I almost said, really? Jesus, I'm so gullible.
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Send your hometowns to myfavoritemurder@gmail.com.
And stay sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Mustard.